Good afternoon, everybody. This is Barry Bear at nearly 10 minutes to 2 on a grey and wet Wednesday afternoon on the ninth day of September and the ninth day of spring. Well, this afternoon on the show here in the studio, I'd like to talk about how my two appointments went, and the first of them was a transfer assessment using a sling and my voice. Now, I won't go into too much detail about that here on episode 58, which we're doing today, and this is the full show now. Also today I'd like to go over with you about being organized for appointments, which is what we spoke about, or what I spoke about with you before I left to go to my GP today. And I will talk about how the appointment with my GP went. It was very good. I touched on a few things, and it all went well. And like I said at the beginning of the video today, here on episode 58, you must have everything ready for your GP before you go in to see him or her, and tell him or her exactly what you're there for. Don't just tell them that you're there for a chit chat. Doctors are not there for a chit chat, and I'm sure that my outsider would agree on this. And always stick to the subject. Tell the doctor what is wrong with you, and tell him or her nothing but the truth, and don't make up stories to make the doctor annoyed or frustrated, because the doctors have other patients to see. So be brief and to be straight to the point when you go to see your local GP, and stick to the truth. And if you need something put on your medication authority form like me, tell him sooner rather than later. And what will work with the GPs, guys, please tell him the truth, like I've just mentioned, and nothing but the truth. Because lying to GPs, no, it won't cut the cake. And tell the attending doctor your concerns, and don't blab on. Stick to the point, be brief, and keep the conversation short. And if you have a mobile phone, guys, please turn it off during your consultation with the doctors. After the appointment, I came back home feeling very happy, and my assistant house manager was very good at driving the house van to and from the appointment. Very good stuff indeed. I must say that I was impressed by my assistant house manager's driving, and what a day away to start on Wednesday with 2 appointments on the one day. And the last thing before we move off the appointments, always make sure that you've got everything prepared for your appointments, such as your sling and your chair, and make sure that you've got a hoist that is working and on charge. And that is the subject on appointments. Today we made something with apple, an apple cake. We used up one whole apple and half an apple, and then added some flour, some butter, some brown sugar, some lactose-free milk, and we mixed all the ingredients together and then put it into a baking dish with baking paper, and it was, and I can tell you now, the cake smells absolutely great. And how long did we put the cake in the oven for? Half an hour. And on the subject of cakes, if you are thinking of making a cake, make sure that you have enough ingredients when you make a cake. Because if you don't, then it's no good. Before you make a cake, and make sure that you have fresh ingredients, and make sure that you have all your equipment ready, such as your mixing bowls, your wooden spoons, your electric plates, etc. And after you have finished cooking, make sure you tidy up the kitchen and leave it and tidy it up and throw anything in the bin like eggshells and things like that. And if you're baking something in the oven, guys, make sure that you have your oven at the right temperature before you put anything in, and make sure that you preheat your oven before you put it in, and have an oven-proof dish or a dish suitable to go into your oven. And if you are making a cake like we did today here, make sure that you grease the tin with butter, and make sure that you know when the cake is done, and and don't leave the oven up too high, or have the oven up too high, I should say, at the wrong temperature, because how will you know what temperature to put your oven? Look on the recipe that you are baking, or the cake that you are baking, and look on the instructions on how hot to put your oven. And keep an eye on the cake too. And always insert a skewer in the middle of the cake to test whether it is cooked. If it's cooked, you can take it out of its tin. And what you do is turn the cake tin upside down, and if it comes out, great. And leave the cake on the cake right wire rack to cool. I'm sure my outsider would agree on this. Cakes is so Moorish and versatile viewers, so if it's a wet day like it is today, why don't you go ahead and make a cake? And with school holidays coming up, I'm sure that the parents out there will be able to entertain the kids by cooking them some biscuits or a cake or a slice. There are so many things you can do with your kids during the school holidays. And the school holidays, mums and dads are coming up, so sit down with the family and write a list of activities to do on a wet day, okay, like it is today. So if you plan an outing and it is too wet to do it, then always have a plan B. Well, we hope that you enjoyed today's program and episode 58. Join me for episode 59 coming up soon, and it's about going to the beach and sun cream and sun safety and things like that. So join me for episode 59 coming up soon here on my channel. The time is now 2 p.m. here on this Wednesday, the 9th day of September. I nearly said December. Sorry about that. And before I do close the show today, manage your stress levels. If you're upset about something, like I said in the previous episode, have a nice cup of chamomile tea to settle your nerves and ring your friends and sometimes have a good cry because you need to let it out. So please, if you feel a bit uptight or not yourself, please do have a cup of tea and a nice healthy meal for your lunch. And remember, have a good night's sleep, guys. Make sure that you have plenty of it. And this is where I'd like to end episode 58 today. Thanks for joining me here, and I will see you for episode 59 coming up in a few days, and it's going to be about the Sydney Olympics. So join me on Tuesday for episode 59. I'm Barry Peer. Thanks for your company today, and I will talk to you on episode 59. Have a good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.